Ethereum might be setting up for something big right now. After a pretty quiet stretch, institutional money is starting to flow back in, and it's happening fast. Spot Ethereum ETFs just pulled in over $130 million in a single day, the highest inflow in weeks. And it's not just a one-off spike either. This marks multiple days in a row of consistent inflows, which is exactly the kind of signal traders look for when trying to figure out where the market is heading next. Because when institutions start buying, it usually means they see something coming. At the same time, Ethereum is hovering just below a really important level, around $2,400. And this is where things get interesting. That level has acted as resistance before, which basically means it's a point where price tends to struggle. Now, if Ethereum can break through it with strong momentum, that's when you can start seeing much bigger moves happen quickly. Because you've got institutional money flowing in, price pressing up against resistance, and overall sentiment starting to shift back toward bullish. And when those things line up, it usually doesn't stay quiet for long. Now, zooming out for a second, Ethereum is still one of the most important assets in crypto. It powers everything from NFTs to stablecoins and tokenized assets. So when big money enters the market, Ethereum is almost always one of the first places it goes. That's why these ETF inflows matter. They're not just numbers. They're a signal that larger players are positioning themselves. Now, if you're paying attention to the market right now, one thing that's becoming more important than ever is how you store and interact with your crypto. A lot of investors are moving away from centralized exchanges and towards self-custody. One option that's been gaining traction is the Best Wallet app. It lets you securely hold your crypto, but also gives you access to new token launches and pre-sales directly inside the wallet. So instead of just holding assets, you're actually in a position to discover opportunities early. And that brings us to something else happening in the market right now. While Ethereum is attracting institutional attention, the retail side of crypto is always hunting for the next project that could take off. Maxi Doge is still in its early stages, which is where a lot of the potential comes from. Because historically, once projects like this start gaining traction and eventually get listed on larger exchanges, that's when you can see major price moves happen quickly. The whole idea is getting in before that exposure hits. Of course, like anything in crypto, there's always risk and you should do your own research. But for traders looking for early opportunities with strong upside potential, projects like Maxi Doge are starting to show up on more watch lists. And if you're exploring something like that, using a wallet like Best Wallet makes the process simple. You can access pre-sales directly while still keeping full control of your assets. At the end of the day, though, the main story right now is Ethereum. If these ETF inflows continue and price breaks above that $2,400 level, it could be the start of a much bigger move. And that's exactly why a lot of eyes are on ETH right now.